number 485. And what have I got to start with? Pen, pencil, tortillon at the ready. I've got my brush pen as well. See how that goes. Pencils are all over the place as usual. And I've got one of my bright white tiles. And I've inked it with a little bit of whatever purple colour ink I'd got around at the time. I'd completely spritzed it and added a bit of salt on, giving me this lovely kind of design in the middle there. So I've gone darker in the middle, left it quite light outside. And you see here that you've got remnants of... That's the Masquerade background stencil, or one of them. So all good to go. You can use whatever colour tile you want. You can ink it or not. It's entirely up to you, whatever you want to go with. So let's make a start, shall we? Oh, here we go then. Starting with my pen. And again, if you want to come in with pencil, please do so. Don't think you have to completely follow. It's entirely what's comfortable for you. Because what I want to do today is quite a big curve. Okay, so what I'm going to do to start with, let me just move out a touch. You see, I'm just keeping my hand where it is so I'm comfortable. There we go. And I'm going to follow it round and I'm going to draw it until I'm comfortable with it. Once I've got that idea in mind, I'm going to come in with my pen. I'm going to draw it in. If you want to do it in sections with a pencil, go ahead, whatever's comfortable. And I'm going to come in quite narrow there, look. And then it's going to get wider as I work my way back round, you see. I can stop and pick it up again. And along we go. So we've got that kind of a shape. Okay. So I'm going to turn it round. And I'm going to do something similar on this side. I'm not going to try and make it the same. That would be a little bit crazy. We'd end up having to trace it or something. But I'm going to put one in here as well. And then again, let's make it a little bit wider as we come back round. See, now it doesn't matter which way up it is. Okay, got little heads crossing. Okay, so I'm going to work on this. It doesn't matter, I'm going to do the same on both. And I'm going to start with, doesn't matter where, kind of let's have a curve like this, and it looks like it's going around and then back up in the next one, and then in the next one. You see, as I'm turning my piece, it's going around that shape, leaving myself a gap in between. Around it comes, around it comes. You see? So let's go ahead and do the same on this one. So I'm going to have one kind of looking like it's going down there. And then we can continue that shape all the way around. Again, turning it as I go. Turning it as I go. Okay, so you've got a little bit of a kind of a wave going on there. Into there. So if I go in a little bit. And let's have a look at these. I'm going to put myself like a leaf on there, like so. See? Line, curve either side. So that one's going to sort of be looking like it's going underneath there. So again, I'm going to put one either side, but they're going to be different positions because we don't want them sort of clashing as we go around. I mean, if they do, it's not a problem. One will just go behind the other. But it's nice to have them in sort of different places. So again, I'm going to follow it round. I'm going to move it each time as I put these in. See that one definitely, because as it gets smaller, we don't really have that much more space. And of course, you can make your flowers, or well, your leaves, a little bit smaller each time as well. Thank you, Kane. Cup of tea time. There we go. And then the next one. Tommy's off today, so Kane's taken on making cups of tea. Yeah, it's an important skill. It really is. Absolutely. Okay. Same here, look. Get a little one in. Maybe on the end there, just a little one in there. Okay. So let's do similar on this one. And again, sort of have kind of one there, really, sort of showing the top of it. And then let's bring these in, one in here, and on that one. And sort of, you know, work it round. You don't have to put leaves in, of course. You could do all sorts of things in here. You could keep it as lines. You could fill it with bubbles. There's a lot of options, isn't there? There always is. Okay. Along we go. Just kind of keeping it going. And working it along. So, I wonder, you know, have you looked at your work recently and actually picked out some that you've perhaps redone, or some that you think, do you know what, that's really good? What's your favourite piece so far? Is it one of the tiles? Is it one of the stencils? Sometimes it's nice to go back. You see I'm doing this little line, because what I'm going to do, look, is I'm going to create a shape in the middle. When I say the middle, so whatever space I've got going for it. See? But yeah, as I was saying, it's good to go back and look at your pieces that you've done before and then compare it to what you're doing now, and I'm sure that you'll be seeing progress. And it might be that one of your pieces you might want to go back and do again, you know, just to see how it would look. Or maybe you want to go back and do it, but instead of doing it on a tile, you think, I'm going to incorporate that into a new piece, or I'm going to use it, I don't know, on the autumn stencil, or I'm going to use it with book 14 and mix it in. So it's good to go back. These are really great to have that moment and chill out, but they're really good reference pieces. See, I'm going to come back, look, and finish this bit off now. So, you know, just don't think of them as, oh, I'm just going to do it and then discard it. You don't want to be doing that. You know, make use of them. Look at the difference that's made. Yeah. So let's do something similar on this side now. Bit in there and there. Just think, you know, we're actually now being on tile 485. How many days is that if we were to do, like, you know, 24 hours in a day, 485 hours divided by 24. You know, and that's just saying that we're going to spend an hour on each one. I'm happy for anybody to get their calculator out and work that one out. It's a lot of hours, isn't it? A lot of tiles we've drawn. A lot of time we've had, you know, conversing with each other. And, you know, having a laugh. Ooh, instead of the, you know, Hermes. It was herpes, remember that? We've talked about food. We've talked about illness and pets and family and things that are going on, things that are not going on. Oh, look at that. How lovely is that? Okay. So I'm sticking with my pen. I'm going to come into the middles here now. I'll start with this one. It doesn't have to be in the middle, but I'm going to put that in nevertheless. And I'm going to create myself some petals around it. I'm going to do one top, one bottom. And then I'm going to fill in two this side. And two this side. See, that one kind of gets stopped by that line there. And on the inside, let's go in a bit. I'm going to put myself an extra little petal shape like that. So it's sort of a mixture between a petal and a loop. And let's put some dots around it. See, slightly bigger at the top, getting smaller. Slightly bigger, getting smaller. Like that. Okay. So something similar in this one. Again, don't worry if that's not in the middle. It doesn't matter. So here we go. I'm going to put that one there. Like that one there. But then let's get two in that side. Two in that side. And I'm going to come in with those kind of halfway between a petal and a loop, and dots. Now this one's a bit smaller, so I'm going to get 2 dots rather than the 3. Depends how big your flower is. Let's have a look at that. All right, so far so good. All right, gonna have to have a sip of tea. I mean, they made it me. Okay, so let's get some more of these flowers in. I'm gonna put one. Can perhaps have a part one here. That's gonna be a bit bigger. Look, let's see. And along here, let's do this one. So it's gonna kind of be in there. Look, and then one here. One kind of there. See, it's gonna, not gonna see much of that one. And then as before, look, we can put these little shapes in. And then I can put a bigger dot there this time, look. Smaller there. One in that section. Maybe a little bit of one there. And down and into that one. Okay, so I'm not worried about the size. It's nice to have different. So let's get one kind of down here. Well, look, I'm going to put one there, look. And as before, let's have a look. I'm going to put kind of top and bottom. Almost looks propeller-like, doesn't it? And then each side. And again, each side. And let's bring in that little shape there. Inside of those, and again I can get dots in there. So a slightly bigger one in the middle and littler ones on the outside edges. So as we work our way around. Okay, so let's dot a few of these around. Let's have one kind of here. And again, I'm not looking at any previous. I'm following the steps again. 6 petals, like so. Little loops inside. You know, it's kind of nice to enjoy this, isn't it? Just similar flower shape, and then let's put those dots in as we go. Into that one. Okay. So. Having a look, see that's going to go kind of just off and to this side, Again, not trying to match the size or anything like that. It just depends on how big that first one is. And then from there it gives it that impression that it works. All right. Like so. So let's get another one. Notice I've done 2 here and then I've come across here. And this is something I do a lot. I don't fill in one big section and then move to the next one. Because if you filled in one big section and you run out of time, or you think, you know what, that's it. It's as many as it's going to have. You can't, because you think, well, I've still got to fill that bit in because it looks wrong. So if you spread them out and you think, right, okay, I've spread them out and I've got to finish now, then it looks like that's how many you were expecting to put in anyway, because you've evened it around the whole thing. So try and build it up as you go rather than do a whole section. A little bit like we're doing with the tiny tiles at the minute. You know, it's all about, you know, just pacing yourself and watching things build. You know, don't jump to conclusions about how things may or may not look. You know, until you've done the whole thing, you don't know, do you? You don't know how this is going to turn out. You know, I don't know how many flowers we're going to get in. It doesn't matter. Or whether yours is the same as mine. It doesn't matter either. Okay, get another one in here. So I'm going to get a fair few in, I think. So you're always starting with them 2. Then the 2 on one side, look, and 2 on the other. Along we go. round, isn't there? Okay. And in we go. So let's get one in here. See, one there. You're going to get part of it. Again, I'm not worried about doing part shapes. Gives it that sense already that things are going in front and behind. And along we go. Let's see. Let's get another one in here. Again, sort of another part one. That's quite a large bubble, so I'm going to make the petals to suit. And around we go. Okay. See, little dots. In and along. Okay, let's, I'm going to get another one in. I'm going to sort of have it kind of, again, coming part way in. It's giving that impression that this isn't all of it. This is maybe just a snippet, a little bit of a swatch. Giving you a taste that it's something that's a bit bigger. And along we go. Okay, let's have a look. See, so now I've got some across in this band, but this is looking a bit plain. So let's have a look at that. All right. So along we go. Again, same kind of thing. In and around. And along. And see how that works. Putting those bits in. Okay, I think I'm going to sort of leave it there at that point, although maybe do I want one up here? Maybe, I think I do. You know, you've got to look at yours and think, how does this work and where does it sit? You might have already decided you want to put 6 more in, or you've got 3 less, it doesn't matter. Okay, so we've got that. So I'm going to come in with a slightly different shape now. And let's go from, I'm going to go from between 2 sort of petals. I'm going to put a bit of a wave in. I'm going to put a little bobble on the end. See, like that. And then I'm going to follow this wave back. I don't want it too thin, but then again, I don't want it too fat either. So, let's have a look at another one. Let's go from here, because I'm going to put a bit of a wave in there, which is going to sit behind that one. So let's do another. It sits behind. Let's see if I can find a space to put another one of those. Here we go. Wave. Curl, make it a bobble. And back in. Like so. And there, you can come back and do another one in the same gap if you want. Let's have one coming out here. Little bobble and around. So let's get another one part going in there. And sort of, I think I'm going to have one coming up and going around this way here. There we go. So, you know, have a look around your piece and see if you can get some of these unusual kind of shapes going on. Again, try not have them too thin. You want to be able to see that there's definitely 2 lines, you know. All right, keeping it wobbly. Let's have one here as well. See, that looks a bit lonely. Let's put one in there so it's a little bit smaller, but sort of joining in, isn't it? Let's bring one up here. Maybe have one sort of going off up there and around here. Okay, let's get one in this space. So again, everything looks like it's going behind. That really helps. See what we've got there. Maybe one up here, look. And there we go. And I think so I've one going up here. See again, that might go off a little bit there. Let's bring one in there. Okay, I think maybe one in there, look. Quite a busy piece going on, isn't it? So it definitely needs some definition and such things. So what I'm going to do is bring a bit of paper in here. Look, a bit I've been inking on. I'm going to put this on top because what I want to do now is I'm going to come in with my brush pen. Now, if you want to use a regular pen, fine. An 05's brilliant. You don't really want to be using your 03 to fill in. It'll take a lot out of it. So here we go. I'm going to start by filling in those little loops inside the petals. Now, if they do get a bit smaller, I will refer back to my 03. But this is kind of a quick coverage. And you know what, with these brush pens, you find that they give you a better coverage, but you don't get the lines in it that you do if you're trying to fill in. You get a slightly clearer coverage. There you go. See how that works? And let's work with that. So it just sort of works its way around, yeah? Into those. Now already you see the piece start to take on slightly new perspective where you're starting to put some of this dark in. It's starting to change definition slightly. So they're kind of small, but I can still get the point in. On we go. So, I mean, another way of doing this, you could have actually taken a darker tile and drawn this piece in with a white gel pen. That would give it a bit of different look as well. There we go. But because I've got that ink going on in the background, whatever I kind of cover, it just brings that out even more. All right. And along there. See how it puts those bits in as we go. Let's do this one. So we could have done these as we were drawing them, but that would have meant swapping pens every 2 minutes. And I find that because this is very repetitive, you can bring it back in and do these bits. Look at the difference that's made. Look at that. Okay. So, oh no, let's get that point. See why I've actually put the paper behind is because some of them are on the edge and I don't want to draw on my board into those. See how that works along to those bits. Okay, so now I'm going to do something quite brave. Now I understand if it's something you don't want to do, but I am going to use this and I'm going to fill in the background. The idea is I actually want to leave just that inked colour in those flowers and on those shapes. So if you want to add more flowers or more of those little wobbly lines, you can do so, and that'll reduce the amount of black that's going on your piece. But if you want to see how it looks first, you can wait and see how this comes out. It does look more like a doodle now, doesn't it? There you go, see? Filling in the gaps. You know, we all like to colour. We do, even if it's just with a black pen. There's something quite magical about it. Not having to sort of worry about the colours. And of course I can go back in and I can, you know, clean them up if I need to, if my pen's gone in a bit much. That's why I said, look, keep them not too thin, because you want to see the lines. Just work my way around it. And then we go. See, even round these original flowers I drew. Went into there. Okay. Let's see how that works. Along we go. And into those bits. Okay. And this one. And this one. Okay. See how, I'm just working my way around, just as though you were colouring anything. You do tend to put a bit of a border. But once you've got that, you can fill it in. And around we go. And along there. Okay, see, look at that, how it's bringing those flowers out. I know some of these bits are a little bit fiddly, but you can always bring your O3 pen out and do that if you want. But I'm challenging myself to get it all in. So this is going to be quite a large piece, so I'm going to fill it as I'm going. But it does sort of take a bit of time away using a brush, because you can get more coverage. In and along you go. See this? It's coming into its own look because I can actually go off the edge. And it doesn't matter, so I've got that piece of paper underneath it. And I can work my way through it. To those bits. And along. Okay. There we go. And into those. See how that kind of follows through. Okay, let's move on to the next bit. So I'm not doing that section, I'm coming around those and working on the outer bits around the flowers. And along there. Okay. And into those bits. See how that works? And those bits. And along. Into them. See, just again, not worrying about having to go off the edge of the tile, because I've got that bit of paper there, it's going to help me. And there is something again about going right up to the edge and filling it in. Straight into that one. Hello, Leslie. And she is. Look at that, just going around, filling it in. Along the next bits. Similar, like reminiscent, when you were, I don't know if you did it, I did, lots of wax crayons, really heavy, lots of colours, and then you went over it completely with black. Used to get a mess everywhere, including all over your own hands, and the table and everywhere else. And then you could actually use something that scratched away that top layer, and you'd be left with just this colour in the, not the background as such, but in the image, and it'll be different colours. So whereas here we've used one colour, that's what used to do that, and of course this is nowhere near as messy. Pretty straightforward. And into there. Okay. and along. Okay. And to this bit, see, I'm still going to do a bit in there, although I've gone quite thin. Still want to make sure it's got some definition and around those shapes. Into this bit here, look. And then this one. Look at the difference it's making. I mean, you could do this in any colour, but I do think that the black is the one that's going to give you the real drama in there. Look at that. So, okay, a little bit here, look. And there. You know, follow it round. If you miss any, you can go back. I think you really have to sort of look for it. And then this one. That's going to take it up there. All right. Then into these bits here. And into those. You see how that kind of works? Okay, a little bit up here, so a bit in there, look. And touches in here. Now the question is, do we do those bits? Or do we leave them? That's something to think about, isn't it, whilst we're going around? It's how does it look? How's it going to work? Right. And all those in there. To that one. And there. And to that one. So this last little bit, then we'll have a look at it and see what we think. Okay. So sometimes while you're going around, you'll notice like the little bits that you've missed, or even though you think you've coloured it in, you end up with a little bit of the original cardstock showing through. So I'll make sure that's filled in. See a little bit there, look. Yeah, all right, let's have a look at that. Look at the difference that's made. So what do we do if we think, oh, I do want to do that, I do want to fill that in? Or what happens if you're not sure? If you're not sure, you could always go in, look, and you can fill in those bits with pencil. I know it's not black ink, but it's pencil nonetheless. And then you think, is it right? Is it what I want to do? I think in this case for me, it's not. But if I'd have gone in with black pen straight off, then I would have had to carry it on. But being that I haven't, you know, you can check it in pencil. I can decide it's not for me and I want to keep with this. So how are we going to sort of colour these? I'm going to come back with pencil. A quick sip of tea. And I'm going to go around the edge on both sides. Okay, I'm going to be quite heavy with this because I want this to be the sort of most dominant section. Okay, although that big flower in the background is quite overpowering at the minute, I want these to be the main. But it's like two little eyes, isn't it? Let's do this one. So I'm not worried about what's been drawn in there, how it works. And in and along we go. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's bring the Tortillon in and clean those up a little bit. Let's soften them off and have a look at how they are. See, along we go. See, because it's darker, it's giving it a little bit more depth there. I might still come in with a black pencil. Let's do this and see what we think. Let's see, as I get further round, I don't want it to all cover the middle. So I'm going to put that in. And along there. Okay. So let's have a look. Black pencil. Here we go. Do you know, imagine the tin I opened doesn't have a black pencil in. That's because I move around. Oh, that's okay. I can use the watercolour one I've got available. It's still going to give me that darkness that I'm after. Of course, you could use the watercolour pencils and blend them out. Don't need the pencil and Tortillon then. Okay. Okay. And around we go, sort of following that line again, you see. Again, I've not been too shy with this. I really want it to be kind of dark. Now, and I can come back in with my Tortillon in a minute if I need to. Let's have a look at that. Again, so a little bit more pencil by it, just to help work the two together. Not too much up this edge, but certainly here, it's a little bit more. Same there, like sort of working the two in. Okay, Tortillon again. And along. I'm working it in. And along. Okay. So I'm going to bring the white pen in, gel pen. I'm just going to check it works. I'm going to put myself a line down the middle there. I mean, it might be in the first instance we don't kind of see it, but I'm still going to put it in because I want that bit of a highlight there. Now, I'm not going to use a white pencil. I'm just going to have a hint of that highlight. See? Get my way around. Same on this one. Follow it in. And if I was to use a chalk pencil now, it might be a little bit tricky because it doesn't like going over the graphite. Whereas the gel pen, as long as you can get it to run smoothly, it'll go over everything. Okay, so let's bring a bit of pencil back in. I'm going to add some around this side here. See, it's going to cover some of those flowers just purely because I want them to be in the background. See if I soften it off a little bit. You see how it's put them in a bit of shadow? That's what we want. And let's have a look at this. Same behind this, because of course these are behind. And this one. This one. I see there, look, I've missed a bit of pen. And of course this is behind as well. See, I've not touched any of the flowers, just those that are going behind those kind of curls. Okay, around we go. Let's have a look, a little bit there, look. Done that one, this one. So we've got quite a distinctive that's going underneath now. So last little bit, I think actually what I might do in that, I've got my colours out. I'm going to bring a little bit of light pink purple in. And on these circles or bubbles here, I'm going to add some, leaving a little bit, let's go in a little bit, see, leaving a little bit there. Do it on that one as well. A bit on the edge there. I'm not going to, yeah, I'm going to do a little bit where they're shaded. Can't hurt, can it? Again, look, I've missed a bit there, like, see? But that's okay. Come back in with my 3. Fill that bit. So I can shape that bit better as well. Okay. And this one. Okay. And then my regular white pencil, so the same one out the tin. Oh, missed one. It's right there staring him in the face. There you go. And I'm going to bring some pencil in. Oh, white, let's add a little bit more of that, see? A bit of white in there. Together. And see, I'm sort of kind of working it round. I'm not putting too much attention to detail in those because they are in the background. See, look, I've gone over a bit there. It's just a bit in. I'm going to add a little bit of white there, nothing much because I've not really put any colour in that one. Let's have a little look at that. You see, so they've got a little bit of colour. A little bit of, let's have a look, light sky in. I'm going to add a touch around that bottom edge just to give it that tad little bit of darkness. Just kind of in the background there. And into there. There we go. Okay. A little bit there, a little bit there. And just to kind of finish, I'm going to come back in with that white pen. Again, make sure it's working. I'm going to add some little dots in and around. Don't have to do massive amounts. And of course, if you've got some of these lines, you see here that where it's been hidden, you can gently put that line back in. Remember what I said about overdoing it in one corner? Move around the piece and add a few. And then have a look at it and see what you think. And if you're happy to add more, go for it. But at least you've got some all around. Make sure your pen's dry, of course, because putting white over the top. Okay, little bits. And around we go. See? And into this bit. And this bit. There you go. So there is our tile for the day. Everything needs to be done now is a bit of signature. I'm going to mix it in with that look. See, now my pen don't want to work. There we go. There we go. So there you go. Tile number 485 for today. Have fun with this one. I look forward to seeing what you do with it. And of course, I'll catch you up tomorrow with our tiny tile. But until then, have a lovely day, everybody. And I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.